Hey everyone, welcome. If you're completely new to Python or even to programming in general, you're in the right place. This tutorial is designed to make Python easy to understand, even if you've never written a single line of code before. We're going to walk through the basics step by step with clear examples so you can follow along and get comfortable with the language. Let's start with a very simple concept. What is Python? Python is a programming language that people use to build websites, create games, analyze data, automate tasks, and even train artificial intelligence. One of the main reasons Python is so popular is because it's easy to read and write. It looks a lot like English, which makes it beginner-friendly. Before we dive into writing code, make sure you have Python installed on your computer. You can download it from the official website, python.org. Once you've installed it, open your terminal or command prompt and type the command Python version. If it gives you a version number, you're good to go. Let's write your first Python program. Open any text editor, like VS Code or even Notepad, and type this line of code. Print hello world. Now save the file as hello.py. To run it, open your terminal, navigate to the folder where you saved the file, and type python hello.py. You should see the message "Hello World" appear on your screen. That's your first working Python program. Now let's go over the basics of how Python works, starting with variables. A variable is like a box that stores information. You can give it a name and assign it a value. For example, name equals Alice, age equals 25. In this case, we're storing the text Alice in a variable called name and the number 25 in a variable called age. You can then use those variables later in your program. Python has different types of values. The most common are strings, integers, floats, and booleans. A string is text, like hello. An integer is a whole number, like 10. A float is a number with a decimal, like 3.14. A boolean is either true or false. Let's look at a few examples. City equals New York, temperature equals 72.5 is underscore sunny equals true. You can display values using the print function. For example, print city print temperature print is underscore sunny. Now, let's talk about comments. Comments are lines in your code that are ignored by Python. They're just there to help you or others understand what the code is doing. You write a comment by starting the line with a pound sign, like this. This is a comment. Print Python is fun. Hashtag this is also a comment. Next up is user input. If you want your program to ask the user for information, you can use the input function. Here's how. Name equals input. What is your name? Print. Nice to meet you. Plus name. When you run this code, it will ask for your name and greet you with a message. Python can also do math. You can use it to add, subtract, multiply, and divide numbers. Here's an example. X equals 10, Y equals 3. Print X plus Y print X, Y print X asterisk Y print X slash Y print X% Y. The last one, the percent sign, gives you the remainder of a division. So 10% 3 would give you 1 because 3 goes into 10 3 times with 1 left over. Let's move on to decision making in Python. You can use if statements to tell Python to do something only if a certain condition is true. For example, age equals int input, how old are you? If age greater than or equal to 18, print, you're an adult. Else print, you're a minor. Notice that we use a colon at the end of the if line, and we indent the next line. Indentation is very important in Python. It tells Python what code belongs to which block. Now, let's look at loops. Loops are used to repeat code. Python has two main kinds of loops, for loops and while loops. Here's a for loop. For I in range 5 print, loop number I. This will print numbers from 0 to 4. The range function gives us a sequence of numbers. Now here's a while loop. Count equals 0 while count 5. Print, counting. Count plus equals 1. This loop keeps running until the condition count, 5, is no longer true. Another important concept in Python is functions. A function is a block of code that you can reuse. You define a function using the def keyword. Here's an example. Def greet, name print, hello, plus name, greet, Alice, greet, Bob. We defined a function called greet, and we used it twice with different names. Let's talk about lists. A list is a collection of items. You can store strings, numbers, or even other lists inside it. Here's an example. Fruits equals apple, banana, cherry, print fruits 0. That prints the first item in the list, which is apple. Lists start counting from 0. You can add to a list with the append method. Fruits.append, orange. You can also loop through a list like this. For fruit and fruits, print fruit. Now, let's look at dictionaries. A dictionary stores data in key-value pairs. Here's an example. Person equals name, Alice, age, 30, city, Paris. Print person name. That will print Alice. You can update values like this. Person, age, equals 31. And add new keys like this. Person, job, equals engineer. Sometimes your program might crash if something goes wrong, like if the user types in something unexpected. You can handle these errors using try and except. For example, try number equals int input, enter a number. Print, your number is number, except print, that's not a valid number. That way, if the user types something that can't be turned into a number, the program won't crash. Finally, Python has tons of useful modules you can import. One fun one is the random module. You can use it to generate random numbers. Here's an example. Import random. Number equals randomed, 1, 10, print, random number. Let's put together a simple guessing game using everything we've learned so far. Import random. Secret equals randomed, 1, 5. Guess equals int. Input. Guess a number between 1 and 5. If guess equals secret, print, you got it. Else, print, sorry, the number was secret. You just built a tiny game with Python. That's awesome. So now you've seen how to use variables, take input, work with strings and numbers, write conditions and loops, define functions, use lists and dictionaries, and even handle errors. That's a solid foundation for Python programming. The best way to keep learning is by practicing. Try building a calculator, a to-do list, or even a basic chatbot. The more you experiment, the more confident you'll get. Keep coding and have fun with it.